What is your favorite insult that doesn't sound like an insult? Story 1. It's impressive how you manage to stay so confident. Reply. I feel like that's similar energy to what my buddy's dad said to him after he got a digger stuck, then got a trailer stuck trying to free the digger, then got both unstuck with a truck. You know, I really admire your ability to get out of these kind of situations. Most people would just avoid getting into them in the first place, but I really admire your ability to get out of these kind of situations. Story 2. See you later. Not if I see you first. This has become so common in language that people don't realize it's an insult. You're literally saying if I see you first, I'm going to avoid you. Story 3. You continue to meet expectations. Reply. Nicely subtle. Story 4. It's hard to underestimate you. Reply. It's like, bless your heart. Story 5. I hope the rest of your day is as pleasant as you are. Reply. Most people think they're nice. Even people that are kind of aware of their dickishness tell themselves, I'm just really honest. Story 6. I admire a man that can draw so deep from such a shallow well of wit. Story 7. You're at the top of the bell curve. Reply. That's so mean. Reply 2. I thought it was an average insult. Reply 3. Coming in at pH of 14 and boasting the personality equivalent of a Honda Accord. Story 8. I once made a moderately humorous remark among some friends and one person said to me, "That's the funniest thing you've ever said." I think they meant well, but it really was quite the burn. Reply. I didn't know you were funny. Story 9. From the movie Spanglish, maybe your low self-esteem is just common sense. Story 10. My personal favorite? Wisdom has been chasing you, but you have always been faster. Reply. Alas, that age should have denied you wisdom as youth once denied you beauty. Story 11. Anyone else here to step up their game for shower arguments? Reply. I'm making a list in notes. Very useful in my shower rehashing. Reply 2. For sure. My shower is a mouthy bitch and I need some good comebacks. Story 12. You help me work on my self-control. Edit to add my other favorite. You remind me of the importance of a good education. In the right context, this is definitely not a compliment. Reply. Amazing. Since I've met you, my spouse and I haven't fought in years. Story 13. I will give your suggestion all of the consideration which it deserves. Story 14. It's a good thing you're pretty. Reply. I prefer, you're not good looking enough to be that stupid. Story 15. Bless your heart. Reply. All the people saying this isn't an insult is just more reason why this is the right answer. It can be used nicely, that's why it works as a sneaky insult. Reply 2. Yup, grew up in the South. It can either mean along the lines of, I'm so sorry for you, or, well now, aren't you special? Story 16. I wish I had the confidence to wear that. Reply. Reminds me of, that's a nice top you're wearing, does it come in your size? Reply 2. My brother destroyed me with, I see you bought a muscle shirt, do the muscles come separately? Story 17. If someone asks for a work reference, you can say, any employer would be lucky to get this person to work for them. Reply. I'm embarrassed to say how long it took me to get this one. Story 18. I do desire we may be better strangers. Or any of the other lines Orlando has in that scene, really. Reply. I envy those who haven't met you. Story 19. I've been called worse by better people. Story 20. You're a good motivation to study. Story 21. I once listened to a relative-in-law go off for quite a bit of time on some far-right conspiracy-mongering tangent about all the research she'd been doing, which no one asked for. After she finished and there was a pause, I said, well, the important thing is that you're having a good time. Story 22. IDKY but hitting people with a really dry, good talk. Does the job real well. Story 23. There is beauty in simplicity, and you are truly beautiful. Story 24. Your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries. Reply. I fart in your general direction. Story 25. I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. Reply. I have neither the time nor the crayons. Story 26. As an outsider, what do you think about intelligence? Story 27. I'm certain you tried your best. Story 28. I had a coworker come up to me when I was new and say, you know, I don't care what all the other guys say, you're a hell of a worker, man. And he had like a mischievous smile and I was just like, thank you, man, appreciate that. I didn't realize till break that he was saying everyone talks shit about you and started cracking up that I just took it as a compliment. Story 29. Pardon me for talking while you are interrupting. Story 30. I envy the people who haven't met you. There is a tree dedicated to replacing the air you take up, you should find it and apologize to it. Story 31. You have a face for radio work. Reply. And a voice for print. Story 32. That boy's dumber than a bucket of rocks, bless his heart. Story 33. There's a Yiddish one. I hope someone names a child after you. It sounds nice until you realize that Jews don't name children after living relatives. Reply. Yiddish culture has such an excellent sense of humor. Reminds me of a Holocaust joke I just heard. Don't worry, it's tasteful. A Jewish man survived the Holocaust and lived a rich, full, and mostly happy life, and then one day he died of old age peacefully and surrounded by loved ones. In the afterlife he meets God, and the man says to God, "Hey, wanna hear a Holocaust joke?" God is flabbergasted that a man who witnessed such horrors could possibly joke about the worst thing that ever happened, and he says to the man, "How dare you joke about that? How could you possibly find such a thing funny?" The man replied, "I guess you had to be there." Reply 2. A close friend of my SO is Jewish and I was at her birthday party where we were the only non-Jews. Never in my life have I heard as many Jew and Holocaust jokes. Reply 3. My Jewish friend told me a joke once about how Jewish people have shitty luck because God is constantly giving them challenges. A man is making his breakfast. He decides to go with something easy and fast, so he makes some toast. As he finishes putting butter on his slice of toast and walks to the table, the toast falls on the floor. Now, we all know that toast always falls butter side down, but today a miracle happened and it landed butter side up. The man was completely taken aback and in such a state of disbelief that he immediately runs to his rabbi for guidance. He says, "Rabbi, today my toast fell on the floor butter side up. What does this mean? Is it a sign?" The rabbi thinks for a moment and places his hand on the man's shoulder and says, "This isn't a sign, you simply buttered the wrong side of the bread." Reply 4. This reminds me of an extremely old joke. A master carpenter and his apprentice are hired to build a fence. They're working on it when the master notices his apprentice take a nail out of the box, look at it, and throw it away over his shoulder. He takes out another nail, squints at it, and hammers it into the fence. The next nail gets examined and thrown out. The master carpenter goes over and says, "What are you doing, throwing out these nails?" The apprentice responds, "Look, boss, half these nails have the head on the wrong end of the nail." There's a moment of stunned silence. "You idiot," screams the master carpenter. "Those nails are for the other side of the fence." Hey, stop. You're beautiful. Subscribe. Yo.